A US judge has dismissed a criminal case against Boeing over the two crashes of its 737 MAX 8 jetliners, which killed 346 people. Judge Reed O'Connor made the move following a request from the Department of Justice, but harshly criticised the decision, saying the government had failed to secure the necessary accountability to ensure the safety of the flying public. Both crashes were blamed on the flawed design of one of its flight control systems. The Justice Department originally agreed a deal with Boeing to avoid prosecution in 2021 over allegations they had hid the problem, but said in May 2024 it had violated that agreement. Our North America business correspondent Michelle Fleury can explain a little bit more about the background to this story now live with us. Michelle, Boeing, from this agreement and the dismissal of this case, will now be bringing in their own consultant. They'll choose their consultant rather than there being an independent monitor within Boeing to check that it follows regulations over the next 3 years safely. The judge here saying it will be a danger to the flying public. Wow. I mean, this is not a great look for Boeing.
Yeah, I mean, I think, look, in some ways it shouldn't be a surprise because we knew that the Department of Justice had put in this request for the case to be dismissed. Nonetheless, obviously, as you read this 10-page from Judge Reed O'Connor, it is pretty startling. And I think you picked out some of the key points there. On the one hand, basically, he noted that the government, in making this request, hadn't acted in bad faith, that they'd actually gone through fairly carefully in sort of citing the reasons why they thought this case should be dismissed. That being said, though, it's clear that the judge felt, it wasn't his place to disagree with the government, and yet clearly he has reservations, which he expresses in this judgment. Basically, the point you're picking up on is the fact that Boeing won't be subject to an independent monitor. And I think that matters, obviously, because there has been so much concern about Boeing following these incidents involving the deadly crashes with the 737, about kind of the kind of safety of their build, of their planes, and the process of that. And this was something that the families had been pushing for. On the other hand, the other thing is it goes to, something we've seen a while, and that is that Boeing has been working with the administration, not just under Donald Trump, but also under the previous Biden administration to try and resolve some of these legal issues. You may recall that it had agreed to plead guilty under the Biden administration. Then there was a non-prosecution agreement that was agreed last year with the government. And so this is sort of all attempts to try and put it behind. But in terms of the flying public, obviously, this judge isn't convinced that necessarily this outcome is in the best interest of the flying public.
Yeah, he questioned the safety of the flying public, didn't he? Michelle, thank you very much for your time on that story.